Welcome to lesson 52, and in this lesson we're going to practice identifying slope and y-intercept in the real world context. That means, can you identify that consistent rate of change in the story problem? And can you identify that initial amount, that one-time fee, that one-time number that's constant in the scenario? And finally, can you explain the context of a slope and that initial amount, or the y-intercept of the scenario? Okay, math marvels, we've done so much with rate of change and with intercepts. Let's see if we can figure them out in real world context and situations. So as I read this problem, I'm going to look for two things. I'm going to look for a constant rate of change. What is the rate in the problem? And I'm also going to try and find any initial charges. Like, where are we starting off from? So let's look at this problem. The cost to rent a paddleboat in New York City includes an initial fee. There we go. An initial fee of $11 plus $4.25 per hour. So right there, we can recognize a rate. And I know that because it's telling me per hour. For every hour, it's going up $4.25, and it's giving me an initial fee. Okay, so let's find and interpret the rate of change and the initial value B for the situation and figure out what this equation would look like. In this case, our rate of change is $4.25, and that's telling me I'm paying $4.25 per hour. That is a fixed rate. It is constant throughout the problem. For every hour, I'm going to pay $4.25, and we know that we can represent this as 425x, where x is just going to be our hours, where x is equal to the number of hours. Our initial value is $11. So no matter what, it's like an entrance fee when you go to a park. Hey, is this much to get in? And then once you're in, you don't have to pay that fee again. It's an initial one-time fee. So it's a one-timer before anything else. So before any hours go by, so at 0, that is when we pay our $11. Okay. So let's put this in y-intercept form. Y equals mx plus b. We already know our rate of change is $4.25. So 425x plus 11. And that's it. Those are the two things you're going to look for in a word problem. You're going to look for some type of rate, a constant rate, and you're going to look for a one-time or initial fee. And once you can identify those two things, you can write an equation to represent the situation in slope-intercept form. Hit pause so you can jot this down into your notes. We're going to put this into practice. We're going to try and find a rate in the problem, in the context of the problem, as well as the one-time action, the one-time number difference. Javier Hernandez plays soccer for the LA Galaxy and the Mexican national team. The table below shows the different amounts of his weekly income based on the amount of goals he's been scoring. Since the table shows a linear relationship, find and interpret the rate of change and the initial value for B in the situation. Okay, so we're going to try and find what is the rate of change first. And to find the rate of change, we're going to use y2 minus my y1 over x2 minus x1. That's going to tell us our change in y over change in x, our rise over run. All right, so just pick any 2 points. Doesn't really matter. I'm going to choose these coordinates over here. So y2 is 930 minus 780 over 40 minus 30. There we go. 930 minus 780 is 150. 40 minus 30 is 10. So I'm going to simplify this. I could leave it, but I want to use things in simplest form. So this simplifies to 15 over 1, or 15. So m is equal to 15. All right. So again, I use this formula to find m. Now let's figure out what our b is going to be. We're going to use m plus a coordinate pair. And we're going to use some algebra. All right, I'm going to use the simplest numbers over here. Y equals mx plus b. When y is 480, m is equal to 10. Oops, sorry, m is 15. Our x is 10. What is b? So 480 is equal to 150 plus b. Isolate our variable. And 330 is equal to b. So there we have it. I'm going to put that in there. And now I can write my whole formula in slope-intercept form. Y is equal to 15x plus 330. Done. Hit pause so you can jot this down. But I hope this is really helpful. When we have a table, we're going to find m first using our rate of change formula, and then we can use that m plus a coordinate to figure out b. That's it for today, Math Marvels. Once you have that equation, we can do so much in algebra. I will see you in the next lesson. And in this lesson, we're going to talk about the algebraic terms. You're going to see me do 3 things, and you're going to practice these same skills as part of your criteria for success. 1, identifying the key components of the expression. That means being able to explain the relationship in words between coefficients and variables. 2, being able to determine the number of terms in the expression. Can we actually explain it and justify our reasoning? And 3, the fact that we can recognize that terms are separated by plus and minus symbols.